Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Future Friday, we're going to talk about Tesla Semi delivery event on 2022. So let's dive right into it. Now, what is the idea? Well, idea is that everybody has accepted that EV will be the future. So we are working on it, and trucking is only 1% of the sales, meaning how many units of vehicles sold versus how many is truck is only 1%. However, because the fact that truck is a backbone industry, meaning if you do not have trucks, you are stuck, you may even be dead. So it is allowed to run 24 into 7. Many times you will have a truck's engines literally running continuously because they have drivers that are cycling and shifting, and you can easily have trucks that literally stay 8 to 10 hours per day active on the road without any holidays or things of that nature. So they cause a lot of pollution, because while you can buy car, and cars are a big industry, they don't generally remain active all the time. Most of the cars are going to the office, coming to the office, coming from office to home, those sort of use. Trucks are completely different. They go on long drives, and I mean multi-hour long drives, so their fuel consumption is huge, so their pollution output is exponentially higher than that 1%. And the idea with Elon Musk is that EV trucks will save the world, and he did smoke too much cocaine, and he literally compared the EV trucks with trains, and at that point it's like, bro, relax, let go of that weed. That's not good weed. It's like, he was directly, I'm not even joking, in 2017 he actually compared that. It's like, it's gonna beat a locomotive. I'm like, yeah, no. And it's gonna save money while doing it. Now this is very critical aspect. You have to understand, nobody gives a damn about environment, and it is what it is. It's, you don't fight about it. It is what it is. For example, if I have to go to someone and it's like, bro, do this, it's gonna save the environment, nobody cares. If I'm saying, bro, do this, it's gonna save you money, they're like, shut up and take my money. So you have to understand it this way. You can change the world from diesel to EV. Nobody's gonna do it. You're gonna say, hey, do this, and it's gonna save you money. Everybody's like, shut up and take my money. So that's the whole idea. This system is gonna save owners a lot of money. And then the idea is that generally there is a compromise. When you go from a combustion engines to basically electric system, there is a compromise. For example, you can buy a very low cost car. Like my car that I have, like in India, is very low cost. Like, could I get something similar in electric? Yes. Would the cost would be same? Hell no. It would be like 2 or 3 times, and it will still not be as good as that. So you have to understand, there's always a compromise with EV. Here, it will be better than diesel in every way, shape or form, at least claimed by Elon Musk. So that's the idea. That was in 2017. So what happened? This was the delivery event. Well, reality is they showed some information. One information is that they're upping the voltage from 400 volts to 1000 volt. Now you have to understand, you may be just like, why can't we increase it more? You would like to. There are benefits there, but consequences that higher the voltage, the dielectrics are put under enormous stress, meaning you can reach a point where your dielectrics are no longer able to hold it back, meaning you have copper conductor and you put dielectric around it, like the insulator. That insulator will literally break down simply because of the voltage. You have to understand. That's why, like, when you are talking about something that is, let's say, 11 kV, it requires thick dielectric strength. Something that is like, let's say, 135 kV, it requires idiotically thick insulation. Otherwise, it will simply not last. So you have to understand, you cannot just increase your voltage, because everything in the chain has to be able to handle that kind of potential difference strain. So you cannot just use basic bitch insulation. 1000 volt is like kind of like okay, because you have to understand, your transistors also have to be able to handle, your PCB also able to handle, every connector, every joint, everything in the chain has to be able to handle the continuous strain of 1000. Surge is easy. Surge is like, you can look at home cables. It will have like 220 volt rating, and then like surge to 1000. Small burst, you can handle it. It will hurt the dielectric, but dielectric say, I got this. Continuously is like, bro, I don't got this. So 1000 volt is as maximum as they can do it cost effectively. Can we do even higher? Yes, absolutely. It's just that it won't be cost effective. And again, you do not want your cable to be like thick because of the insulator. You want the cable to be thick because of the copper. So 1000 volt has been designed compared to 400 volts of normal EV. Normal EV is around that range. People just call it 400 volts. Now it's gonna need some big juicy power, megawatt class charging, not kilowatt. We reached into megawatt territory, and it can do 0 to 70% charge, as in like range capacity, in 30 minutes. Now be mindful, if they are using normal lithium ion, they can only get 1C. So just because 0 to 70 can happen in 30 minutes does not mean in 45 minutes you can do full charge. You will still take 1 hour to do full charge, and maybe even longer than that, simply because you may have overheated by forcing so much amp into it. So be mindful. That's why 0 to 70 is only 30 minutes. That's full charge will still take practically 1 hour. If they are overheating because of the burst charging, it will take longer than 1 hour. Now that's not a design of battery, that's the limit of the chemistry. All lithium ion chemistries are more or less 1C rated, meaning they can charge in 1 hour without any damage. If you charge them faster than that, like 0 to 17, 30 minutes, you are putting strain on. There are some chemistry like lithium titanate chemistry that can survive like 3C. 3C is 15 minutes of charging 0 to 100%. Like, why don't we use it? A, it's expensive. B, that puppy has less capacity, meaning for a given amount of volume and mass, it will have less energy, meaning range will be less. Everything else would be better, range would be less. And it's also safe, but again, range is less, that's why we don't use it. So it has two large screen, two giant infotainment screen, and the designer designed in such a way that it was gonna use two cameras to give you feedback directly. And it's kind of clever use because again, if drivers is concentrated on the road using the steering wheel, having two feedback that is much much more stable compared to rather wings that are flapping, it's far more desirable. It's a good system, and it has infotainment. Of course, this is one of the things that Tesla does now. They're no longer just like old school infotainment, like latest and greatest. Butter level transmission. So basically every driver is just going to be enjoying it, because even though you have automatic transmission in majority of trucks nowadays, there's still 10-speed transmission that switches tuk, 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 and sometimes you have to do some interesting things. If you do not do that, you can risk some dangers. So that's the Tesla Semi, single seater. And again, there is one additional seat on the back if you want to have it. Single seater, no sleeping cabs, that's it. Now what about the drivetrain? Now drivetrain has 3 motors and 4-wheel drive. Now that may sound odd, it's like why the heck it has 3 motors and 4-wheel drive? Well, one is the main driving motor, meaning there's this puppy that's gonna like do everything that you see. However, because the mass of truck can, at first it's very heavy, even in empty, when it's not pulling any loads, it's not doing anything, just because of the battery, it's heavy. The baby is heavy. So in those sort of scenario, one motor will be too goddamn sluggish, meaning it can give you the top speed that you need. Heck, it will give you actually a longer range that you are seeking, but the acceleration and deceleration both will be extremely slow. You can't accept that, because when you are doing lane change, when you are taking over, all those time you need that oomph. That oomph cannot come from one tiny motor. So they are like, okay, we have to put 2 extra motors to get the characteristics that matches normal diesel engines. You have to understand that normal diesel engine companies, they can make far more efficient engine than we have real world wise, but here's the, it will be far slower because the peak energy would be reduced. They're like, hey, just operate this engine in this band. They're like, dude, this is amazing, your efficiency would be 10 to 25% more. It's just that we don't do that, because that means even if the driver pushes on the accelerator, the truck would be like, okay, I hear you, I see you, man, I see you, take your time, chill, drink some coffee, then it's going to take up speed. So that's very dangerous, because you have to understand highway speeds are highway speeds. You need something that responds quickly. So it has to do 2 motors with clutch system. So why clutch system? Well, I have no idea. But again, in the original design, they were claiming they're going to put 4 motors, basically 1 motor for each wheel. Now they have 3 motors. And 2 of the motors is offline motor, meaning they will not be on majority of the time. They will only be on when you are accelerating or decelerating, because again, it will act as a good generator. This is one genuine good thing of electric system. The brakes will last exponentially longer compared to, normal truck. That is one thing that is like, shut up and take my money. That is just shut up and take my money. So they're gonna have that system, meaning the moment it detects there is load and the single motor is reaching a point where it's like, dude, I can't dump more energy into it, this clutch will be engaged, fachang, and voila, the 2 motors will either take away the energy in regenerative braking or dump energy in for acceleration. So because mass of the truck is too high and the maximum loading could be 36 ton fully loaded, so you have to understand drivetrain has to compensate for that. Top speed is not an issue, it's just that to get that oomph, that acceleration and deceleration where driver can have confidence in the vehicle, that requires this extra hassle, which I'm reasonably sure they're gonna throw away in the future. They're gonna put 1 motor continuously working on it. So let's see what happens, because again, they went from 4 to 3. And I'm placing my bet in next 2 years, they're gonna go to 1. As in like two motors. So what's the problem with this? Well, they did have a 30-minute talk and I watched the whole talk and there was no data. Like this was amazing to see. There were like so much fluff, like it has engineers and hulululu. It's like if there was any person from basically logistics department, they're like, is this a presentation for me or is this a presentation for Elon fan? Because there was nothing, no data, nothing, zero. Like one of the most important thing you have to understand is that what the hell is the empty weight, because you're not paid by the truck weightage, you are paid by the payload weightage, meaning things that you are moving from point A to point B. That's how you are paid. And because of the road limitation, there is 36-ton cap basically. And again, government is trying to add 2-ton extra cap in terms of electric vehicles, but that's a very bad idea, because if you do that, your roads is going to be destroyed. But let's see. So empty weight is not specified. Now everybody is doing their own calculation, and because Elon Musk himself did not provide the numbers, most people are aware like it number has to be bad, otherwise he's gonna yell about it. It's like, oh, this is so amazing, so amazing. It's not. That's why you're not talking about it. And then it is, what is the probability? Well, how much loss that you're gonna incur compared to normal diesel truck? If diesel truck is 1, how much you're gonna lose in terms of going to this system? Estimate is around as low as 50%, as high as 70%. So you're still gonna lose 30%. At best case scenario, like the most optimal, hyper optimistic scenario is still 20% less capacity. Is that bad? Yeah, that's a lot of bad. That's like flat out right there. People are like, okay, I'm out. Unless they have that specific need where they're shipping something that is huge but very lightweight, they're like, I'm awesome with that. Like, again, there could be customers for that, like how they have moving Cheetos and all that jazz. Of course, those are lightweight element, but they require volume. So those are like, shut up and take my money. But if you are in a scenario where moving trucks, moving grains, moving metal, moving concrete blocks, all those jazz, not so good. So empty weight was not provided. Size of the battery and the weight of the battery was not provided. Now, why the heck size and weight matters here? Well, weight matters. That gives you how much penalty is, and that gives a better understanding for the investors, or even the people who want to buy it. They can be like, hey, remove the battery. Like, let's say battery is directly proportional to range. What if you just remove it, half it? Or what if you quarter it? Because I only need from moving from A to B. Let's say you're moving from a factory to railway station, we're going to dump it into a train. So I don't need very long battery capacity, just give me something, and it will become exponentially more efficient. The lighter the battery, the more efficient it gets. So that's why size and weight matters. And not to mention, it's also important for fire brigade. How the heck you're going to put out the fire? Because one thing you have to understand, batteries are self-sufficient devices, meaning they burn like a rocket engines. It will burn even in space, it will burn in the underwater. And many of Teslas have caught fire, and some of them, it took fire brigade 2 hours of continuous water flooding just to keep the temperature under control. Because here's the deal, once it catches on fire, there is no oxygen to cut out. It's gonna burn continuously. It's very brutal. Now you have 10 times more the battery, like how many oomph is there, like how much electrolyte is there that can catch on fire. That means if any of these truck catches on fire, it's gonna be amazingly high spectacle system. And I have no idea what the hell the fire brigade is gonna do. Like, genuinely don't know. Like, the current fire brigades are like, bro, we actually have no idea what to do with electric system, because best thing you can do is like flood it with sand. But like, where the heck you gonna get sand? And not to mention, sand will also melt. It's just gonna contain everything into a big mess. So battery size and weight, that's unknown. Charging. Now this was a very real. Why do you have image of like how the heck you wanna cool the cable? Which, mind you, because of the amp requirement is too goddamn high, they are using distilled water. I don't think oil can be able to cool it anymore. So is it normal? Yeah, that's how your turbo generator that is running in a power plant is cooled. It also uses distilled water because water has high enough heat capacity where it can cool the cable. Awesome, GG. Here's the. What about the plug? And most likely the people are saying that plug right now is a proprietary plug, temporary plug, which is like, they're just jerrying on, because if they had a complete plug design, they will show it. They will not shut up about it. So are they using proprietary, which many people are worried that they might be, which is hyper stupid, because again, the moment he goes to Europe is like, bro, F off. It's like, use normal standard charger. Is there any standard charger that can go to that scale? Yes. Back in the old days, as in like 2-3 years ago, people figured out what we call megawatt charging system, MCS. Now, MCS puppy was designed with this in mind for buses, trucks, and big heavy loads, where it can start from 1 megawatt, go up to 3 megawatts. Meaning even at boost charging, it can handle semi-Tesla. This was the design of that. Now, Elon Musk did not specify. Now, I'm reasonably sure the moment he has to go to Europe, he has to use that. This is just the cable structure, so I'm not sure how he's going to make the connector. But it would be wise, because here's the deal. It was true when Tesla came out, the car came out, the standards were behind schedule. Here, standards are ahead of schedule. So if he enforces his own gibberish into it, now it's like, dude, he's just trying to stroke his ego. At that point in time, it's like, bro, no, just. And that also matters for the people who want to buy a fleet of it, because this thing is slowly coming to the fruition. Bus people are really loving electric buses, so they're slowly over time, they're going to add it and they're going to use this system. Now you're going to have a Tesla's proprietary system. Not really desirable. Cost of the truck is still unknown, and that's a very bad thing, because even in the site you can go and somebody's like, I have bought Tesla trucks. Like, dude, you did not bought it, you put money for the down payment. So nobody has bought it, so nobody actually knows what is the cost, and nobody knows the cost of the charger, because again, if you're buying a fleet of it, you yourself have to be responsible for the charging infrastructure. No cost for it. At least if this was MCS was used, you can figure it out. It's like MCS is like, there are many manufacturers that are making MCS nowadays, so like, okay, this is the charge for that. No idea. And be mindful, this puppy will take megawatts of energy. That's a lot of energy. Like, it's not something that you can just have middle of nowhere, you will have 1 megawatt. 1 megawatt is so much that no pole mounted substation can supply that much power. You need upwards of 33 kV line in order to dump 1 megawatt safely. So good luck with that. And there is a problem with this. Elon Musk, many times he just has loose motion, and like open loose motion, and because of his fan base, nobody figures it out, dude, you are having loose motion. And like when he created this idea of Hyperloop, every Tom, Dick and Harry who had brain cell, they're like, dude, this does not work. That included me, unfortunately, also. And that was like 4 years ago, I made a video about it, that this does not work. Everybody's like, dude, what the hell you know about it? It's like, engineers are like, Linus Tech Tips, I respect that guy. Even he was like, oh, why the heck engineers are working on it? I'm like, dude, engineers will work on any project if you're paying them. That's their job. So that did not happen. And here's the deal. Every time you have bad ideas like that, you waste money from useful, good tools, and those tools also die out. It's not just like you're causing, wasting time. No, you are causing harm to people. And in this scenario, there are many useful companies that are making actually useful trucks, electric trucks that are actually being delivered, because they have understood long ago, electric trucks for long range, physics does not allow you to do that. Short range, shut up and take my money. Places where you have to do a lot of start and stop, places that you are surrounded by electricity, for example, city driving, places where you do not want to have air pollution, places where you want low noise pollution, shut up and take my money. Amazon, FedEx, DHL, every company have figured it out that electric for that last mile delivery, shut up and take my money. In this sort of scenario, internal combustion engine does not perform that well. Why? Start and stop. They don't like it. Battery is like, this is my jam. I got this. Like, there are many companies that are selling you, like right now you can buy. It's not like, oh, pre-order for 2 years. No, no, no. Buy it. Take it. Do a test drive. If you are happy, buy it. And people are doing that. And all these sort of things are getting overshadowed by Tesla Semi. So it's very, very bad for the whole industry. And not to mention, like, I'm reasonably sure that even this time he's gonna come up with some bullshit. It's like, oh, the Tesla is much better because it's like, dude, people who are much smarter than you have created the standard. It was true then CCS was behind schedule compared to Tesla. This time it's not. Please, for the love of God, use this standard, which he most likely won't. Now, at the end of the day, I have just realized, I have given up on him, is that he's just a troll. It took time, like more and more people are now realizing that he's just a troll at the end of the day. Why SpaceX is so successful is like, one primary reason was that after Cold War ended, nobody took rocketry seriously. Everybody was like, chill. Like NASA's dreams went from going to the moon to like, let's just make a space station, because, Russia actually figured it out how to make it mere space station. So it's like, it toned down, and that tone down was continuous. Like, nobody was doing any new rocket engine development. It was like minor refinement after 1970. So people were like, there was nothing to do. So there was no challenges, no competition, nothing. And his brilliance was that, hey, what if we use technology of 2005 in order to make a new engine? And compared to 1970, 2005, much better. Yeah, that was true. And not to mention, SpaceX realized very early on that if Elon Musk is irresponsible for it, it's gonna crash. So the CEO has been changed. So that's why SpaceX is working. Everything else is lol. Everything else is lol. Hyperloop, the biggest disaster ever. Boring company. God damn, how much cocaine he was doing when he was doing that. I have no idea. That was bad. And you have to understand it. If I remove Elon Musk's name, put any other individual in that position, that person will directly go to jail and will be under mountain of lawsuit, flat out, because these individuals did the same thing. They promised something they could not deliver, which every other engineer and scientist was like, dude, what are you smoking? It cannot be done. And they're like, dude, just give me time, just give me time. They did not get the time because, again, they did not have the fandom of the people. Like, and be mindful, both of them had engineers, scientists, all that working. This somehow got Pentagon working for it, all of that. And then they're like, nope. You failed to deliver. 1 or 2 years is acceptable. 4 or 5 years is not acceptable. At that point, both of them are in jail. So that's the whole point of it. If you remove that Elon Musk fandom, he would be behind jail, flat out. This trolling a little bit is okay. Trolling with investors' money, with a stock market, is not acceptable, flat out. And he's just, this event was another god tier troll, where it's like, delivery event. Dude, what are you delivering? You have one truck. one active in-use truck. You have hundreds of prototypes. I hope they have hundreds of prototypes, but most likely they have only one truck, and that's what they showed. And it's like, why one? This is the delivery. You took money for this in 2017. You took money. And that time the money they started was like a $5,000 down payment. Then they upgraded that down payment to $20,000. And there were like around 800 truck orders that are from known brands, like big people who have invested in it. And Elon Musk himself is saying that he has around 2,000 truck orders. That's a lot. Like 2,000 multiplied by $20,000 per piece. That's a lot of money that you took. And it should have been delivered in 2019. So meaning this event, even behind schedule, should be, here's your truck, take it and go. Not give me more money and I'm going to deliver in 2 years. Same thing he did. So you have to understand that flat out, he's just pretending that delivery event is just that. It's a pre-order. There's like only few pieces. Like most people are damn sure there's like only one completely working piece. Other pieces are like, trial system. Because I'm reasonably sure he must have tried that 4-motor thing. And I'm betting that is soon in the future is going to be like, yeah, clutches are a bad idea. Let's just throw it away. Let's just put 2 motors. So let's see what happens. And all the mention of AI, like back in the days, like this is 2017, he was like, AI is gonna do amazing things. And that the idea with truck was that AI is gonna allow multiple trucks to pass into the wake of each other, meaning they're gonna create a good aerodynamic flow throughout the road train, and that's gonna compete directly with the rail. And that's what I said, like his cocaine supplier was off. So that mention, AI, like he was 2017 was like, if you're gonna getting a heart attack, if you are incapacitated, the car basically the truck will softly park on the side and call us emergency service. This time the actual delivery, no talk of AI, no talk of self-driving, no talk of magical life-saving features. What the hell happened, man? That's the whole thing. Same every company, she can also say the same thing. It's like, yeah, I wanted to do 1,000 tests, but I'm giving you 100 tests. Like, bro, you claim sold me for 1,000. 100 is not gonna cut it. You sold me with AI truck, basic bitch A truck will not work it. So that's the whole thing. So his whole schlock is that make grand claim, increase his profit, stocks goes up, then under deliver, and if under delivering, of course, will caught up with you, that distract them with charm. And like I've noticed that Elon Musk, majority of his releases, like I'm talking about this, all they're happening too close to each other. Like if you're a company like Elon Musk, like a company or a brand, you will space things out. It's like 1 month I'm dedicating to Neuralink, another month I'm dedicating to Semi. Another month, I'm dedicating to Boring Company. Other month, I'm dedicating to this. No, he's just trying to collapse 2 or 3 or even 4 things as close to as possible. Why? It removes news cycle feedback. Because news cycle is important here. These things collapse because of news cycle. News cycle caught up. And then people were staying there. It's like, let me look into it. Elon Musk does not allow that. He's like, you will sit down. You'll look into it. Dude, you are talking big things, but you're not delivering. It's like, no, okay, new thing. Robot man. Now it's like, oh, no, new thing, robot man, this. It's like, it's just restricting. So flat out, I have given up on that. And more people are realizing that Tesla stock is no longer as healthy as it used to be. And even he went to Twitter, even Twitter is like, I don't think he was that, sometimes he really had good ideas, but I think he has no checks and balances. Like, in 2017, he was saying things that was like, dude, what kind of cocaine suppliers you have? And now he's like, your delivery is just pre-order. So what the hell was 2017 or 2019 or 2020? So let's see. I am suspecting at least 1 or 2 years of extra delay, if lucky. And not to mention, let's not even talk about like somehow magically we're gonna have megawatt class, substation everywhere dumping these trucks. It's like, good luck with that. So this was my presentation on basically Elon Musk shenanigans. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please hit the like button, share it amongst a friend. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I would urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show my extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.